So we just talked about some perfect squares. So we're going to continue on with perfect squares, and we are going to look at this. So we are looking at how do the squares of A, B, and C, right? A, B, and C, how are they related? How are they connected? So what I want you to do is I want you to grab two different colors. It doesn't matter if it's a pencil and a pen or two different colored pens, or if you have a highlighter, or even if you only have a pencil, right, you could shade one darker and one lighter. Easy peasy. So what I'm going to do is this is the square of A, right? Because A is a 3x3 square. And I'm going to shade that pink again. I'm going to shade that pink. Then I'm going to look at the square of B, which is a 1, 2, 3, 4 by 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to shade that blue. Again, I have my first, which is A squared, and B squared. Now we're going to relate it to C. So what I want you to do is I want you to notice how B was a 4x4, so that means 16 squares, right? And then 1 would be how many? 9 squares. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's a 5x5 square. So I want you to shade 16 of those squares blue. So and if you were doing it differently than me, that's perfectly fine. As long as you have only 16 blue, or your color, sorry, as long as you have 16, your color of your B side, then we are perfectly fine. Then do 9 of your other color. What do you notice? What do you notice? The 2 smaller squares add up to the big square. And again, if it is not exactly that right, if you have some sort of version of that, that's perfectly fine. But that is what the Pythagorean theorem is saying, is the two sides, which if you look down here, are called the legs. The two sides are called the legs. The longest side is called the hypotenuse. Hypotenuse. And one thing that is very important that is good to know now is the hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So if you draw a diagonal across, right, that's going to be your C, your hypotenuse, which if you notice in here is the longest side. That is the longest side. So now we're going to do some examples. I'm going to show you what that all means.